Hi! So the second full marks event in within a week or so is almost practically over, probably over by the time you're watching this. So I thought I'd make a kind of update to my previous video about full marks. It's still very valid, still has lots of information, lots of strategic advice, what to do, what kind of combos to go for, etc. But because there's been kind of changes in the game, I thought I'd address them and maybe give some tips and tricks on that as well. Mostly I'm talking about, of course, the boost system, which since my last video has changed. Previously you had to use gems to give it a boost, and you could only get a 1.5 boost to your tiles, whereas now you can get it up to 2.5. It only costs you coins. It will cost you a few grand each time, and unlike before when it lasted 24 hours, now it only lasts 12, which is obviously half the time. So you have to keep in mind like how you approach this. But I still think it's a pretty good feature, and it definitely helps out. In this particular case, I spent, in the last full marks, the first 2 days just grinding, going for as many tiles as I could. I ended up with the Colloportus combination, in fact. But it's at the very end, that's tip one with the boost, of course. You get all the tiles that you need, but you don't collect them until you've bought the boost. Go for the entire thing if you can, if you have the money, of course, the coins, because the timer, the 12-hour timer, sets with the first one, and it doesn't work like you get the next boost, and the timer resets. It does not. You still have those 12 hours that you had with the first one, so you might as well get all the boosts all at once and collect all the tiles. The boost will boost not only each tile separately, which is beautiful because tiles that would normally give you 40 points will now give you 100, just one tile alone. And it also boosts the combo bonus, so for a single, for a double, a triple, and a Colloportus. So in my case, I went from 0 points to 1,613, I think, with just one grid, which put me from the last place to third in that one swift movement, which was beautiful. So I would genuinely encourage people to go for that. And then if you may, because you still have those 12 hours left of the boost, try and get at least a single and some spare tiles, maybe even a double, depending on what you have on the grid. I'll put in the description all the recharge times, because a lot of the tiles will not be, there's a lot of classes, of course, but then there's also doing friendship activities like getting full diamonds or doing Quidditch, and etc. And within 12 hours you can pull off 2 of those usually. There's at least a meal with a friend that recharges every 10 hours, I think. So you can totally squeeze 2, it's 10 hours, so you can totally squeeze 2 meals with a friend in a 12-hour period. So depending on what your tiles are, and of course you still have the option to flip them as well. If you look at the new grid and you see a potential, I can basically get let's say a double within the 12 hours that I have the boost, but there's like one tile that just isn't gonna work, you can flip it. That will still cost you gems. The first one will be, I think, 5 gems, and then it goes to 15, and the number just gets bigger and bigger. So by all means, if you don't have the gems, go for the single and extra tiles. Just take as much advantage as you can from that boost that you have, and then once you've collected that and the boost has run out of time, then probably go for the next large combination, whether it's a triple or a colloportus, it might be hard to pull off two within the same event. I managed to do that this time, but only because I had a lot of extra energy coming in. One, and that happens quite a lot in this game, is especially during full marks, is where you get the free energy reward. It's like 150 or 200 energies, and it happened this time as well. But I also hit the energy rewards in magical milestones, the 125 and 50, so it was extra 175 energies from that, and I leveled up. But when I got the grid, I saw those things happening. I saw that I only need a couple more classes and I'll have the experience and I'll get that. So that's why I went for another colloportus. If I did not have those energies, I could not in any way do two of those combinations. There's just no way. But if the game offers you that opportunity, if you see a chance, why not? Of course, it all depends whether you need to. If you're only doing full marks to get what, like within the first 6, so you get the 90 pages, then yeah, you probably don't need that. You really most likely don't. But if you want to win, then well, I feel for you. It will be hard. And you may not pull it off every time. Most likely you will not. But if you go for the boost, if you go for the colloportus, if you potentially don't sleep, maybe. But in general, I still stand by my opinion that full marks should only be done rarely. Like, if the outfit or whatever the main reward is, if it's really that good, then go for it. But like, to get in the first 12 or the first 6 isn't that hard, especially if you have the coins to spare. So yeah, figure out what you really need. Figure out if you have extra energy coming in that would help you out. Definitely use the boosts as much as you can. Flip tiles if you need to. You don't have to suffer if you can avoid that. And yeah, thank you for watching and hope you found this useful. Still, there's another video on full marks if you want to go in deeper about how to manage your tiles. So check that out as well, and see you next week. Bye.